Welcome to the channel. Windsor Woodworking. So we're not working in the shop today. The plan for today is I've got some ash and birch logs that we're gonna mill up with a chainsaw. To do this, got the Timber Tuff jig, attaches to the bar of the saw, and got a Stihl MS241C. Right now this has just got a regular chain on it with the 30-degree angle. It's hard going. The ash doesn't like it, so I ordered some ripping chains. First things first, we're going to swap those out. Okay, that was a bit of a pain in the ass chain, although it is the same 55 length as what's on the saw, a little shorter. So I had to back it the whole way out. So let me show you the differences. So this is a ripping chain. Let's see if I can get it to focus here. So 90-degree angles, and I think that's 20. When you compare it to the other ones, okay, you can see the difference in the cutting teeth. This is to help clear it out, help it work a little smoother. So let's gather up our gear, get on the tractor, and get to work. First, let's attach this thing. So this goes on pretty easy. 3 Allen heads here. Saw. And just start tightening everything down. Back over them a few times. They can back out. Check them after every pass. For the first little while. Just to make sure they haven't backed out and that your teeth aren't going to run into the jig itself. That would be a very costly mistake. There. So, how this works, rides back and forth on 2x4, tilt, give you a perfectly parallel cut. Alright, let's go get set up. So we've got our first one loaded up. It's an ash that I had started cutting with just a regular chain. So I've got it pretty well squared up. I don't care if it's 100% square. I'll run it through the planer and joiner afterwards. So this is all it is. Took a couple of 6x6s, put them together to make a stand, cut a notch in the center for when the log's round, set it offside when it's square. The saw simply sits on this, slide it back and forth, and you angle it down to make your cuts. Okay, so pretty basic setup, works fantastic. Right. And this thing makes life a lot easier. Forklift I made just with a bunch of scrap metal sitting around. I used the forklift attachment that I made more than the bucket. So let's get to working. So, as you can see, that took forever. Is that chain any better than the other one? I don't know. But that's what you're left with. Okay? This ash is incredibly hard. I've got some birch over there. I think once I'm done this one log, I'll go back to doing some birch. It's a little softer, a little easier to work with. It's hard going. Okay, we've got our next log set in the groove. So I've turned it to about the flattest side. Swept all the dirt off. Now we need to set up the 2x4. Trying to keep it reasonably straight and untwisted. Might have to throw some shims in there. And we'll make our first pass to debark it. And that'll give us a flat side to work off of. Okay, so I've got my 2x4 on there. It's got a little bit of twist in it. That's all right. Again, these will all be stacked, dried. Rule of thumb for drying, 1 year per inch of thickness. So we'll see what I can do to speed that up. So now I'll make my first pass, debark this one side, roll it over 90 degrees. That'll give me a flat surface, put the 2x4 on, and then we'll be able to keep going around. 3 more cuts, square it up. So I find this birch cut's a lot easier than the ash. That we're not cutting a full thickness here, we're just cutting a slab off. So this will be a treat compared to that. you have it. So, we've got our first cut. That gives us a flat edge. We can roll it this way, put that flat edge on top. That gives us something a little more stable to put our 2x4 on. Easy peasy. So now we're ready for our next cut. Okay. There you see. Got two sides square. I'm already set up for my third cut. There's going to be a lot of bark left on this cut. This log's not very straight, but that's alright. Once I make this cut, I'll roll it 90 degrees, cut it again, and then start cutting my boards.